Welcome to episode 5 of I Wouldn't Start a Podcast. I'm Adam.
Hi.
Yep, Sam's here too.
No, I'm not really here.
Sam's not really here. It's pre-recorded. I gotta do a lot of planning of what I'm gonna say so it sounds natural, like there's a person here responding to me.
No person here at all.
But the main thing we gotta talk about today, we saw this movie called Lamb. It's made by Icelandic people, and that should give you a little bit of a sign.
Cinematic genius.
Yeah, I'd put it up there with movies like The Holy Mountain or The Room from Tommy Wiseau or any of those movies Neil Breen made, but like a little more professional. Are we gonna just totally spoil the movie in this, or I think we kind of have to?
I mean, I don't think people want to pay,
Well, no one pays for movies.
the $20 for this movie, because even though it is the best movie there is.
Yeah, I don't think we could put people through having to pay to watch this. People will come for us if we do that.
Yeah.
This is kind of going to be a movie spoiler / movie review episode. But I'll read the little synopsis they give on IMDb. A childless couple, Maria and Ingvar, discover a mysterious newborn on their farm in Iceland. The unexpected prospect of family life brings them much joy before ultimately destroying them. Sounds intriguing, but I guess it's a mysterious newborn. Yes. I guess that's how you'd describe it.
It is definitely mysterious, that's for sure.
It's like
100%.
It's like a goat-human baby hybrid thing. Like it walks on two legs like a human, but one of its arms is furry and has a hoof, and it's got the head of a goat or lamb or sheep. We probably should have looked up what the hell the difference is between a goat and a or a lamb and a sheep. But is a lamb just a baby sheep? I think a lamb's just a baby sheep.
Yeah, I think that the lamb is baby sheep.
Oh, I sound stupid right now.
I think we're both sounding pretty retarded.
Yeah.
Excuse us, we do lots of drugs.
Yeah, sorry for all the R slurs we're dropping. I know we have an audience that's really offended by language. That's why they listen to us. But the movie, there's so much more to it. The guy in the movie, Ingvar, his brother, shows up, but he doesn't he gets thrown out of the trunk of a car by some people. And I don't think it's ever really explained why. And Maria and Ingvar are just kind of got in trouble with the wrong people again, huh? And I guess in Iceland, when you get in trouble with the mafia, I know they mentioned something about you owe money to people. So I guess in Iceland, when you owe money to the mafia, they just drive you out to the countryside and let you go. And you just walk to your brother's house. And from the sounds of things, it's not the first time it's happened. So, the Icelandic mafia must be very forgiving to, this guy. They just keep lending this guy money. He doesn't pay him back. And they're like, go stay with your brother.
Go stay on that farm, hell.
Yeah, go stay on your brother's cursed farm. Because, the guy, obviously, he's introduced to the lamb sheep child thing. And, initially, he takes it much better than I think most people would because he just kind of looks like, that's strange.
Yeah, I mean...
their child has the head of a lamb.
And not to spoil the movie too much, but
we're going to spoil the movie.
That's true, we're going to spoil the movie.
There's no way around that.
We've already spoiled it. No one talks that much in the movie, either.
Oh,
There isn't a lot of talking.
Yeah, 90% of the movie is just...
random flashes.
Well, not flashes, because that implies a music video where it's like a 2-second thing and then a cut to something else.
Okay.
It's a good 15-20 seconds of someone just staring off past the camera and no dialogue. It's just, that's what's happening. They're staring off past the camera. Seems kind of pretentious. But it is European, so it would have to be.
There's a lot of scenes where they're just staring at things, or it's just showing them, doing something, but nobody is talking to anyone else around them, or saying anything about the the child that has a lamb's head.
Yeah,
Like it's perfectly normal to just have a lamb head.
yeah, they find this kid and they're just like, we have a child now. And I don't think that's the correct response. Like, even if I mean, they're described as a childless couple, so I'm guessing they can't have kids. But even if you can't have kids, you find a kid with the head of a lamb. Your first reaction shouldn't be, I guess this is our kid now. We found it, finders keepers. We found this out in the wilderness. It's ours now. We'll raise it as a human. But yeah, at one point the brother takes the thing out to like a field and like levels a gun at its head. And then the next scene is the mother wife wakes up and she's like panicking, looking for the kid, like, oh my God, where'd my kid go? And there's suspense. You think, oh, he shot the kid. But no, he's just sitting in an armchair with the kid like sleeping on his lap. So he takes this abomination out to kill it, and then he's like, I'll just go back to the house. And it's probably got the brain of a lamb, so it's not going to be like, hey, why'd your brother try to kill me earlier? Like, yeah, we went out, he walked me out to the middle of a field and pointed a gun at my head. What was that about? It's just never...
Well, the lamb seemed to be pretty smart, though, because she had a name. And she responded to it. Like, did things.
Yeah, but I mean,
like,
dogs and cats will respond to their name, too, and
yeah,
I don't think they understand if you point a gun at them.
Eating at a table, like, I don't know.
That's true. It does use cutlery, doesn't it?
It's like, it's pretty weird. It's pretty weird because you are, but it can't talk, so even if it did understand, it can't talk.
Well, but I mean, how old is... Maybe it's not old enough to be able to talk yet. Like, when do kids...
fucking walking around. It's not like it's a baby.
Don't kids learn to walk around before they learn to, like, speak properly?
Yeah, but they usually babble. At least,
true.
Like, they have, like, rudimentary, like, give me this, or, like, they know
true.
certain words.
It doesn't make any noise at all throughout the whole movie, does it?
It doesn't talk at all. It just looks like some creepy doll, like, just about to just kill you.
I mean, one of the really bizarre things, after they steal this child from the forest or wherever they find it, there's a scene where the woman wakes up and there's a sheep outside staring at their house. So she grabs a gun, she walks the sheep out away from the house, shoots it in the head, and buries it in some mud. And later on in the movie, the brother that comes to visit, he's like, so when are you going to tell the child you killed its mother? And I don't think there was any explanation of how any of that got communicated within the movie universe. Like, the brother just knew that she killed a sheep, and also knew the sheep must have been the sheep child's mom. It's very confusing. I feel like there's a lot of plot holes in this movie.
She was killing a lot of sheep, it seemed like, because she had all those grave sites she was digging. She was putting, like, little of her flock of sheep because they were all looking for the baby.
Seems like a really bad sheep
But
farmer.
It was very hard to tell. Yeah, because of the way they just would flash to her, like, burying them with all the little sticks in the ground, but there was really no explanation because they only showed it, like, twice. Because no one talked through the movie, so there's no explanation for anything, because there's no talking.
Me and my husband run a sheep farm, but
it was already...
I keep killing our sheep, and we're losing money like crazy. I don't know how to fix this problem.
It was already, like, pretty weird in general.
It was a strange movie. Throughout the movie, the brother is like trying to bang his brother's wife, and I mean, she locks him out of the house at one point.
Yeah, he tried to like make her do it basically by, I think.
There was some kind of coercion that I don't remember.
Yeah, there was something going on, and so she seemed into it just to get him towards the door so she could kick him out.
Oh, I think that's the scene where the brother's like, does Ingvar know you killed the lamb's mother?
Maybe that's what it was, and
A, I don't know how he knows that happened, and B, like, why would the husband does, like, he drives around this farm. He doesn't notice, like, we had a bunch more sheep yesterday. Where all our sheep keep going? And, like, she doesn't even fully bury the sheep. She just kind of throws some mud over it. So there's, like, half of a sheep's head just sticking out of the ground. You'd think he'd be, like, driving by that on his tractor and be like, wait a minute, that's not where I left my sheep. Like, maybe investigate, be like, why is this sheep underground? Oh, it's dead with a bullet hole in it.
But they seem to have a lot of sheep. And I mean...
They seem to not be competent farmers.
Sheep do die. I mean, or wander away. So they probably account for so much of that happening. Because they birthed a baby while we were watching the movie. In the very beginning, they were having sheep babies.
That's true, and none of them came out with human bodies.
No.
It's interesting. Or maybe we just weren't paying close enough attention and that was the sheep child being born. No, because this is regular sheep walking around, wasn't it?
Yeah, because it came out a regular... Because I was like, wait, did we totally miss the whole birth of the sheep child? And I went, no, because I'm pretty sure that was just a regular sheep.
See,
it had a regular sheep's body, but that would make more sense as to the whole beginning of this. Because it just was out of nowhere.
I mean, that's part of the genius of this movie is you watch it and you're like, oh, did I black out for 30 minutes and miss a bunch of plot points? But no, it's just the movie wants you to feel that way. And if a movie can make you feel like you've been drugged by Bill Cosby, that's a good movie.
Yeah, if you don't actually have to take acid to watch the movie because makes you feel like you're already on acid.
Oh no, taking acid is far more coherent than that movie is. But yeah, anyway, near the end of the movie, the sheep's father shows up and he's like a sheep man. So, but he doesn't have like one sheep arm. He's got like a human body. I think he has hooves. His
arms, his legs, everything from the neck down is a human.
But I think he had like sheep legs.
Ram. I don't think he had
like
sheep
a
legs.
Goat Man creature or like a demon, like a Beelzebub.
I mean, honestly, looked more like a demon.
Yeah, it looked like a very angry ram.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure is like some kind of Baphomet demon thing.
Because,
But yeah, he kills all the people. He shoots all the people. And then he just walks off with the sheep child who's just like, oh, okay, I'm going with you now.
Well, he just killed the sheep child's, human dad.
Yeah.
The mom came by later and then
he kills her too, right?
Cried. No.
I'm pretty sure he kills her.
No. It's the end. She just, remember, because at the end, there's no explanation again. She just looks up into the sky for a long time.
Yeah, that's true.
And that was the end of the movie.
We probably should have recorded this like shortly after watching this movie, not like a week later. Where I'm like, what did I even watch?
It hasn't even been a week. We watched
4 days.
It on Halloween.
4 days, a week. Yeah, I don't know.
But
I don't know about time.
It's because it's that trippy that you're just like, you question it after watching it because you're not sure.
Yeah, after watching it, you're kind of like, did I watch a movie?
Like,
or am I dying?
Just not sure what happened. It's crazy.
This is even more of a explanation of the movie here. Ingvar's troubled brother, Peter. He's troubled. That's how they describe the man who arrived by being thrown out of the trunk of a Mercedes. He's troubled. He's, he's a little troubled. He's challenged.
What were what are reviews? What is the...
Well, on IMDb, it's got a 6.4 out of 10, which is a perfect score. It's the highest score you can get. It's a user review. They gave it 5 out of 10. It's the top review on IMDb. Great cinematography, but that's it. 3 people and a strange little human lamb child going about their day-to-day lives. That's literally it. I kept asking myself, what's going on here? Is anything going to happen? Then once we get a little action, the story ends. I didn't expect this film to be the most exciting movie of all time, but wow, that was insanely boring. All of the 9 and 10 star reviews must be fake. This was the equivalent to visual melatonin. Definitely not a movie I'd recommend. 5 stars. This person is a liar. I recommend this movie. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. No, they're pretty spot on. Here's one that gave them 8 out of 10 and titled their review "No Substitute." There are certain things that cannot be explained, and even then, and then even if they are explained, you do not get the full explanation. See, this guy's operating on the right level to be watching and reviewing this movie. You just get an answer to one question, but there are so many other questions that open up. One thing that is for sure, as our two main characters do not question certain things, you shouldn't either. You will likely have less fun if you try to depict things that happen and the sense they may or may not make. Yes, even in the realm of the world the movie is playing in, there is not much dialogue here, but the sound design and cinematography make up for that. And for the movie being slow-paced, you have to be into that sort of films to consider watching this. I had no idea what the movie would do, and I would say I was kind of shocked by certain reveals, but it does make sense if you think of the beginning and where it ends. Even if you may have wished for a different one, just don't start asking. Don't ask questions.
Just go with it.
Just accept the movie.
Accept the movie
and what
for
it's
what
doing
it
to you.
is. And, I mean, he's sort of right in that you just have to accept it, because if you try to overthink it, you'll be like us, and you'll just be like, what is going on? I don't understand what's happening, and then you just keep watching it, because you're like, I have to figure out what's going on. What I don't really understand is why they classified it as a horror movie, because I didn't really think it was scary.
But it was horrifying.
Yeah, I guess it was. I guess it was horrifying.
I mean, honestly, reading through these reviews, it does make me feel better because, I don't know, after watching the movie and the questions I had after, I was like, oh, maybe I'm retarded. Like, I don't know, who knows? But no, apparently everyone's reaction to this movie is pretty much what we had. Like, Lamb is one of those movies that even after you watch it, you still try to take in and process it. Call it what you want, drama or thriller. It's one strange mixed film with love and realism. Realism, yeah, that's actually how I describe it. This is exactly very realistic to what having a sheep farm is like. Sometimes there's a demon sheep child.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, farm life, demon sheep child seems like an everyday occurrence.
I mean, there's other weird stuff in the movie, like their dog gets killed, and like there's just like, oh, the dog got mangled by something. Mm-hmm. Anyway, like I feel like if I was on a farm,
address that situation.
Yeah, if I was on a farm and I walked outside and my dog was just a mangled pile of gore, I'd probably be like, I should probably have my gun with me because there's a bear or a wolf or something around here. But no, they're just like, oh, the dog is doing that now. It's like, I don't think that was the dog's choice.
Kind of like how the wife's husband seems pretty oblivious that his brother wants to fuck his own wife. Like,
well, Ingvar, I think, has like closed head trauma.
Like the whole time, it's really awkward. It seems like.
Let's see. Like reading through these reviews are all just very repetitive. This one, 2 out of 10. Watching paint dry. I just wasted an hour and 46 minutes watching paint dry on screen. Apparently, the lady who plays the wife in the movie is a well-known actress, and they have no idea how she could have read the script and said yes. I'm thinking because the script was like 3.5 pages long and double-spaced, and they were going to give her a bunch of money. They were like, yeah, all you really got to do is walk through that field and then just stare off into the distance, and then we got half the movie filmed right there.
Yeah.
Like
pretty much. She just had to do some various task around the farm on camera for a little bit, stare off a little bit. Because the total time where there are people versus where there's just random other clips of things.
Yeah, just film animals standing around sometimes, and they're like, oh, that'll take up 5 minutes of our runtime.
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
I'm not sure who made that movie, though. Like, who was like, this is gonna be the best movie?
Ingvar, with his closed head trauma.
That's true.
And he thought it was very fast-paced and hard to follow. And he was right about the hard to follow part, but I mean, part of this review. The foundation of Lamb is easy enough to follow, but the slow pacing and the quiet solitude of Ingvar's and Maria's land bring a certain dread to the proceedings. It's not easy to follow. It's not easy. I mean, I guess in a way, if you just accept it as what it is, it's pretty easy to follow. But if you try to like mentally put together a coherent storyline of what you just watched, it's very far from easy to follow. It's strange. I mean, maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe you need to watch The Room, and then we'll do a review of The Room. Because The Room is a cinematic masterpiece. Like, one of the best movies ever made by far. Tommy Wiseau's a genius. Both on and off screen. Because he either has or had a YouTube channel. Remember a few years back, like, he was promoting some new movie. I think he's trying to make The Room 2 right now. And his promotional videos he was making for social media are just out of this world. They're amazing. I mean, granted, I like Tommy Wiseau as a person because, like, he came to America and he's like, it is fantastic here. This is the best place I've ever been. I love America. Like, he made a video on the 4th of July where he's just, like, one of the most pro-America people I've ever seen. And it's like, all right, you can stay. You're allowed to stay, Tommy. You like it here. But if he was like, you know, all the people in Hollywood that are like, this is the worst place on the planet, leave. You're a multimillionaire. You can go anywhere. No one's making you stay. Oh, I have to stay. So you got to be here to film my movies. Like, you own a private jet. Go live somewhere else. That's my rant.
That's your rant?
Yeah, I think if you're in America and you make tens to hundreds of millions of dollars, essentially playing pretend on video, you don't get to complain this is a bad country. Because what other country on the planet would you have been able to do that? Like, obviously, we're not the only country with a film industry. We seem to be the only country with a film industry that repeatedly churns out people with hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank. Because, I mean, this movie we watched, Lamb, so obviously Iceland has some level of a film industry. I don't think anyone got rich off this movie. I kind of don't think anyone even got a 6-figure paycheck for this movie. Like, I think maybe 10, 15 grand and some McDonald's coupons is like what the lead roles got. So I'm willing to bet it's probably not easy to find the like financials behind this movie like it is with a lot of Hollywood movies where it'll be like, Tom Cruise was paid $200 million to star in this movie. It's like, Tom Cruise is 5'2". Why are you paying him that much? His mouth is off center. If you ever look at Tom Cruise smile, mentally draw a line straight down from the middle of his nose, his teeth are offset. His whole mouth is offset. It's all wrong. Also, he's crazy.
Just like you.
No, not like me. No, Tom Cruise is a different kind of crazy. Tom Cruise is the kind of crazy where he's like, he's in a cult. You wouldn't want to leave your kids around him. Probably wouldn't want to leave your animals around him. He's probably going to do stuff to any of them. That's just, I mean, he went on Oprah and he's jumping, this man, and he was in his 30s or 40s at the time, jumping up and down on the couch, screaming about how he's in love with Katie Holmes or whatever. That's clearly not what a straight man in his 30s or 40s does when he gets a girlfriend. However, that is probably what someone who's really, really trying to come off as a straight man in his 30s or 40s does.
I don't think Tom Cruise has a girlfriend anymore.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Cruise has a girlfriend either. So maybe you just shouldn't leave your son around him. Your daughter will probably be safe. But, I don't know. I don't feel like Tom Cruise is a straight man.
Obviously, Adam hates Tom Cruise.
I don't hate Tom Cruise. I just think he's really overrated. And I think he's a bit of a lunatic. But, like, not like a good lunatic. Like, this guy has too much money and he's probably kind of dangerous lunatic. I mean, he's literally a high-ranking member of a cult. Scientology's a cult, and he is or was one of their top spokesmen. And if you look into the things that Scientology has done to people over the past 20, 30 years, if you're promoting that and encouraging other people to get involved, you're a bad person. Like you're a very bad person trying to recruit people to that. There's no way around that. Like one of the higher ups before, his wife tried to leave and then she just went missing. She like went missing on one of their compounds. Like they've killed people, and they don't just, it's not like, oh, this person's a danger to our organization, we're going to take them out in the middle of the woods and shoot, or in the middle of the desert and shoot them. It's we're going to kidnap them and keep them locked up on one of our compounds and subject them to propaganda and torture techniques to try to get them back into the cult. Because there's people who've escaped Scientology and they're like, oh, that's what they do if you try to leave, is they'll torture you into staying. They either have or had like several basically like slave camps where they just have people doing manual labor unpaid, but they're not allowed to leave. Pretty sure we made that illegal here. But if you're, rich and connected in Hollywood, you kind of don't have to worry about laws anymore. You just kind of do whatever you want. Why? That's what you're talking about, where you're like, oh, we don't need to come up with topics to talk about. You'll just go on a rant. Because this started as a movie review, and now I'm just like going point by point the things that Scientology's done just within my lifetime that I watched happen. But yeah, Tom Cruise, not a good guy. Not a great dude. So is that the end of the episode? Oh yeah, we're at 26 minutes.
Oh yeah, people
want to thanks to our sponsor, Hibachi Tire Rotation and Grill. Go get your tires rotated. We'll cook you up some meat. Another shout out to Alec Baldwin. I no longer have loud, noisy neighbors. They were filming a movie next door. My neighbors are all dead now.
Adam is also still waiting for your hate mail.
Yeah, we need... Oh, no, there's one. No, I'm not going to do that bit. We'll save that bit for another time. Send us hate mail. I wouldn't start a podcast at gmail.com. Pretty sure we have a Facebook page. I wouldn't start a podcast on Facebook. I'm still banned for 30 days on Facebook because I called a man lazy. So I'm not 100% sure. I think we have a Facebook. We have a Twitter.
Probably doesn't have anything on it if we have a Facebook.
There's nothing on our Facebook. There's a name. Go ahead and follow it for no information or anything of any value. We have Twitter, also of no value to anyone just by virtue of being Twitter.
We have a YouTube, but Adam hasn't uploaded any of our...
No, the first episode's on there. It just, for some reason, takes my computer about 2 hours to encode the video to upload on YouTube. So I probably don't need to encode it at 720p, 60 frames per second. That's probably... The 60 frames per second alone, if I went to 30, probably cut that time in half. But I want the intro to film editing graphics to really be real crisp and smooth. So I want to do it 60 frames per second so people can see that countdown timer it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to make. It's nice and smooth. I want it to look good.
All right, Adam, shut up. We're getting off of this thing.
4K TV, 60 frames per second, YouTube. Do it.
Okay, love you guys. Bye.
She's lying. Bye. Bye.